Hey guys, I was asked by my parents and my brother to show a salmon recipe, something new. I don't know if it's new to everybody else, and it's certainly not new to me. I think I've been making it for, 15 years. I guess it's a form of blackened salmon, so I'm going to just show you what I do and how I do it. It's pretty straightforward, and I'm going to make it with a salad with balsamic, olive oil, celery salt, and onion powder. All right, and then I'm going to show you how to do the salmon first. A little olive oil, not too much, a little bit on the fish. I'm going to put some in the pan. Not sure, I don't think you can see the pan, but I'm basically using a skillet, a cast iron skillet actually. And the first thing I'm going to do is just, with my left hand, since I'm right-handed, I always use my left hand to get the coating of olive oil all over it. I use sea salt, decent amount, onion powder, decent amount. Heat up the stove, about medium heat I guess. I pat it all in so it gets absorbed into the onion powder. Salt again. You don't want to go too heavy on it because the sauce that I'm going to show you has quite a bit of salt or sodium in it already, so you don't want to go crazy, but it's kind of hard in this case to go overboard with the onion powder, so you can season as your heart's content on that one. So I'm just going to get this, I don't have too much oil in the pan because unlike haddock or whitefishes, salmon has quite a bit of natural oil, and if you put a significant amount of olive oil, you're going to have a ton of oil in there after because the salmon oils will come out. You could put a little black pepper on it, but I choose not to do that because it does kind of take over. Alright, so that's all there is in terms of seasoning with this goes. So I got the pan preheating, and I'll show you a close-up of that. So I'm going to put this in here. And this should have been probably a little hotter than that. But the first thing too I do is I take a spatula, and as soon as it touches the pan, I just kind of pop it up and then sit it back down. Otherwise it'll start sticking. If the pan's hot enough, when you do that it'll start searing it, and then you won't have to worry about that later on. So just kind of pop it up like this so you don't end up with half the crust that's going to form on this fish. You don't want it to crack and fall off because there's a lot of seasoning on that. Depending on how many servings, I only have one serving here. So basically it's about 1.5 tablespoons of soy sauce. And about 1/2 teaspoon of this particular stuff is the best mustard I've had. Boar's Head makes a honey mustard. So that's pretty good stuff. Hold on, let me flip this screen so I can see what the heck I'm doing. Honey mustard. You can use regular mustard too, but this adds a bit of sweetness to it. So I'm just going to put in about 1/2 teaspoon. I use a teaspoon to stir it up until it blends well and turns into a light brown. And you're going to microwave this just before serving for about 10 seconds. Again, it's about medium heat. And you already got the crispiness and crust forming on it, which is really what it is it's fairly high temperature, and the cast iron does such a great job at distributing the heat that there's no hot spots, everything's hot. and the onion powder ends up crusting onto the fish. Now the fish is good in my opinion seasoned the way it is, but when you add the sauce it takes it to another level. And this meal is super simple to make. Olive oil, a little bit of balsamic vinegar, just a splash of this. I mix it first, get all of the dressing all over it so that the spices will stick, because otherwise if you don't mix it, it'll stick to everything that's wet and fall off everything that's dry, and then it'll be strong in some places and not strong enough in others. Okay, so big warning on the celery salt. You have to go incredibly light on it because it is far more potent than any other salt, including sea salt. You need so little of this, and if you put too much, you will ruin it. So it's just a tad. If I can show you this here. That's pretty much it. Onion powder, you can be a little bit more liberal with it. And I'm going to keep mixing it up. But you want to go super sparingly on the actual celery salt. Alright, so I'm lowering the heat a little bit on this because it has to cook all the way through, but we needed to accomplish the browning. You can see that it's brown. Nice. But you definitely want to put the heat, lower the heat after you get both sides blackened, because otherwise it's just going to continue to cook and get almost burnt on the outside. And you don't want that, or maybe you do. But I think it's better that you brown both sides, make it flaky, and then cook it on a lower temperature to get the inside to cook. And it should be flaky when it's done. Alright, so it's about done. I'm going to put the sauce in the microwave just enough to warm it up, about 10 seconds. And the sauce is now very well heated. Just going to take a couple of teaspoons. Got some extra, and that's about it. That's my version of blackened salmon with the soy mustard sauce and a balsamic virgin olive oil salad with celery salt.